Europeans have always defamed heroes, because colonialism wasn't just about stealing land, it was about stealing memory. It was about rewriting who deserved to be remembered and who deserved to be erased. And when they couldn't erase, when the drumbeat of revolution was too loud, when the people refused to die quietly, they did what cowards do. They lied. They slandered. They distorted. They named every act of resistance a crime, called every rebellion disorder, every revolutionary a tyrant, every freedom fighter a warlord, because they knew something that most history books still won't admit. The heroes of the colonized were the executioners of empire. Let's be precise. Haiti, Toussaint Louverture, organized the only successful slave revolution in history. He defeated France, Spain, and Britain in battle. Yet French textbooks called him a loyal servant who turned into a dangerous extremist. American ones barely mention him. And Napoleon? They still teach his military genius, not the fact that he re-legalized slavery and starved Haiti for embargoes for daring to be free. Burkina Faso, Thomas Sankara, renamed the country from Upper Volta, a name the French gave it based on a river, to Burkina Faso, land of upright people. He banned female genital mutilation, ended government corruption, and made the country food self-sufficient in 4 years. But go read Western media from the time. They called him anti-West, too idealistic, a dictator in disguise. Why? Because he told the IMF, World Bank, and France to go to hell. And that's the one thing Europe can't forgive. Sovereignty. The Congo. Patrice Lumumba's only crime was wanting an Africa that didn't bow. He warned that colonialism never left, just changed its clothing. Belgium tortured and assassinated him with CIA help. Then they kept his tooth. Yes, Europe literally extracted and hoarded his remains like relics. And for 60 years, European journalists called his death necessary. Only in 2022 did they reluctantly give the tooth back. A single tooth. No apology. No indictment. Kenya, Dedan Kimathi, led the Mau Mau rebellion against British rule. He was executed by the British in 1957. For decades, Britain called him a terrorist. They buried him in an unmarked grave. Meanwhile, they ran concentration camps. Yes, literal ones. For Kikuyu civilians, tortured children, and castrated prisoners. But somehow Kimathi was the savage? India, Bhagat Singh, was 23 when the British hanged him. The Empire called him a dangerous anarchist. Today they say he was too radical, because he didn't ask for freedom. He demanded it. The Philippines, Andres Bonifacio, founder of the Katipunan revolutionary movement, was branded by Spanish friars as a bandit. His crime? Declaring independence from Spanish rule and trying to redistribute land. Europeans always found brown revolutionaries more dangerous than brown kings. Because a revolutionary doesn't just want a crown, he wants justice. The Americas, every indigenous leader who resisted genocide was labeled a criminal. Crazy horse? Hostile? Sitting bull? Threat to order. Tupac Amaru II? Traitor to Spain. Tecumseh, enemy of civilization. And civilization? The ones that used smallpox blankets and massacred entire cities? That civilization? Even their own exiles weren't safe from slander. Simón Bolívar, who liberated half of South America from Spanish rule, was called ungrateful by Spanish historians. Che Guevara, who challenged American imperialism in Latin America and Africa, was smeared for decades as a murderer by the same CIA that funded fascist dictatorships across the globe. Nanny of the Maroons in Jamaica, leader of guerrilla resistance against the British, was described as a dangerous influence on the slaves. Notice the pattern? If you kill for empire, they call you a hero. If you fight back, they call you a threat. They gave medals to the monsters who ran the Belgian Congo, but jail time to the men who fought to liberate it. They put Winston Churchill, who starved millions in Bengal, on the 5-pound note, and put revolutionaries in unmarked graves. Even their silence is violence. Europe has thousands of statues of mass murderers: Columbus, Leopold, Rhodes. But where are the monuments to Louverture, Sankara, Lumumba, Ya Asantewa, Queen Nzinga, Boudica, Nani, Kimathi, Bhagat Singh, Tupac Katari, Malcolm X? They don't just omit, they erase. They don't just slander, they sanctify their villains and bury our saints. And let's not forget, they even slandered the colonized version of Christ, Jesus, a dark-skinned, anti-empire, anti-moneylender, table-flipping revolutionary, was turned into a blonde-haired, blue-eyed empire mascot. The same Rome that crucified him built cathedrals in his name. The same Europe that enslaved millions spread Christianity with whips and guns. They turned liberation theology into imperial doctrine, because even their religion is a rebrand. So when they call your heroes violent, when they call your resistance chaos, when they tell you you're rewriting history, remember, Europeans have always defamed heroes. Because if they ever told the truth, their whole house of cards would collapse. Cope.